to stay away from me. Sometimes I'm in disbelief, I didn't know. Somehow I need you to go. Don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you, just giving myself back and don't stay. Sometimes I feel like I trusted you too well. Sometimes I just feel like screaming at myself. Sometimes I'm in disbelief, I didn't know. Somehow I need to be alone. Don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you, just giving myself back and don't stay. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. With no apology, don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you, just giving myself back and don't stay. Don't stay. Don't stay. When this began, I had nothing to say, and I'd get lost in the nothingness inside of me. I was confused, and I let it all out to find that I'm not the only person with these things in mind. But all the vacancy the words revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to feel. Just stuck, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own. I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long. Erase all the pain till it's gone. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along, somewhere I belong. And I've got nothing to say, I can't believe I didn't fall right down on my face. I was confused, looking everywhere only to find that it's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind. So what do I have but negativity? Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own. I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long. Erase all the pain till it's gone. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along, look exactly like what you had always wanted to see. When I pretend, I can forget about the criminal I am, stealing second after second just cause I know I can. But I can't pretend this is the way it'll stay. I'm just
trying to bend the truth.
I can't pretend I'm who you want me to be, so I'm
lying my way from you.
No turning back now.
I wanna be pushed aside, so let me go.
No turning back now.
Let me take back my life. I'd rather be all alone.
No turning back now.
Anywhere on my own, cause I can say
No turning back now.
the very worst part of you is me.
I remember what they taught to me. Remember condescending talk of who I ought to be. Remember listening to all of that and this again. So I pretended up a person who was fitting in. And now you think this person really is me. And I'm
trying to bend the truth.
the more I push, the more I'm pulling away. Cause I'm
lying my way from you.
No turning back now.
I wanna be pushed aside, so let me go.
No turning back now.
Let me take back my life. I'd rather be all alone.
No turning back now.
Anywhere on my own, cause I can say
No turning back
the
now.
very worst part of you. The very worst part of you. Yes, no.
This isn't what I wanted to be. I never thought that what I said would have you running from me like this. This isn't what I wanted to be. I never thought that what I said would have you running from me like this. This isn't what I wanted to be. I never thought that what I said would have you running from me like this. This isn't what I wanted to be. I never thought that what I said would have you running from me like this. No turning back now.
I wanna be pushed aside, so let me go.
No turning back now.
Let me take back my life. I'd rather be all alone.
No turning back now.
Anywhere on my own, cause I can say
No turning back
the
now.
very worst part of you. The very worst part of you is me.
There are just too many times that people have tried to look inside of me, wondering what I think of you when I protect you out of courtesy. Too many times that I've held on when I needed to push away, afraid to say what was on my mind, afraid to say what I need to say. Too many things that you said about me when I'm not around. You think having the upper hand means you gotta keep putting me down, but I've had too many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, watch it drop.
making the rock stop.
Just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot.
making the rock stop.
You think you won, and then it's all gone. So many people like me put so much trust in all your lies, so concerned with what you think to just say what we feel inside. So many people like me walk on eggshells all day long. All I know is that all I want is to feel like I'm not stepped on. There are so many things you say that make me feel you cross the line. What goes up will surely fall, and I'm counting down the time. Cause I've had so many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, watch it drop.
making the rock stop.
Just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot.
making the rock stop.
You think you won, and then it's all gone. 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 Now it's all gone. I know I'll never trust a single thing you say. You knew your lies would divide us, but you lied anyway. And all the lies have got you floating up above us all. But what goes up has got to fall.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, watch it drop.
making the rock stop.
Just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot.
making the rock stop.
You think you won, and then it's all gone. And then it's all gone. And then it's all
see. Wounds so deep they never show, they never go away. Like moving pictures in my head, for years and years they've played.
If I could change, I would. Take back the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the blame, I would. If I could take all the shame to the grave, I would. If I could change, I would. Take back the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the blame, I would. I would take all my shame to the grave.
It's easier to run, replacing this pain with something love. It's so much easier to go than face all this pain. You're all alone.
Sometimes I remember the darkness of my past, bringing back these memories I wish I didn't have. Sometimes I think of letting go and never looking back, and never moving forward so there'd never be a path.
If I could change, I would. Take back the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the blame, I would. If I could take all the shame to the grave, I would. If I could change, I would. Take back the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the blame, I would. I would take all my shame to the grave.
Just washing it aside, all of the helplessness inside, pretending I don't feel misplaced is so much simpler than change. It's easier to run, replacing this pain with something love. It's so much easier to go than face all this pain. You're all alone. It's easier to run.
If I could change, I would. Take back the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made.
It's easier to go.
If I could change, I would. Take back the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the blame, I would. I would take all my shame to the grave. Loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. I am what I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
I can't face the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored.
A little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. I am what you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
I can't face the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. No, hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right now, hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me
these thoughts and the pain attached to them. Sometimes I wonder why this is happening. It's like nothing I can do would distract me when I think of how I shot myself in the back again. Cause from the infinite words I can say, I put all the pain you gave to me on display, but didn't realize instead of setting it free, I took what I hated and made it a part of me. Never goes away. Never goes away.
And now you become a part of me. You'll always be right here. You become a part of me. You'll always be my fear. I can't separate myself from what I've done. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you.
Hearing your name, the memories come back again. I remember when it started happening. I'd see you in every thought I had, and then the thoughts slowly found words attached to them. And I knew as they escaped away, I was committing myself to them. And every day I regret saying those things, cause now I see that I took what I hated and made it a part of me. Never goes away. Never goes away.
And now you become a part of me. You'll always be right here. You become a part of me. You'll always be my fear. I can't separate myself from what I've done. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you.
Never goes away. Never goes away. It never goes away. It never goes away.
Get away from me.
Give me my space back, you gotta just everything comes down to memories of I kept it in, but now I'm letting you I let you go, so get away from me. Give me my space back, you gotta just everything comes down to memories of I kept it in, but now I'm letting you I let you go.
You become a part of me. You'll always be right here. You become a part of me. You'll always be my fear. I can't separate myself from what I've done. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you. I've let myself become you. I've let myself become lost inside these thoughts of you. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you.
Memories consume, like opening the wounds. I'm picking me apart again. You all assume I'm safe here in my room, unless I try to start again. I don't want to be the one the battles always choose, cause inside I realize that I'm the one confused. I don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream. I don't know why I instigate and say what I don't mean. I don't know how I got this way. I know it's not alright, so I'm breaking the habits. I'm breaking the habits tonight. price.
Everyone feels so far away from me.
Heavy thoughts sift through dust and the lies.
Trying not to break, but I'm so tired of this deceit. Every time I try to make myself get back up on my feet, all I ever think about is this, all the tiring time between, and how trying to put my trust in you just takes so much out of me.
Take everything from the inside and throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you.
Tension is building inside steadily.
Everyone feels so far away from me.
Heavy thoughts forcing their way out of me.
Trying not to break, but I'm so tired of this deceit. Every time I try to make myself get back up on my feet, all I ever think about is this, all the tiring time between, and how trying to put my trust in you just takes so much out of me.
Take everything from the inside and throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you. I won't waste myself on you. You, waste myself on you. I'll take everything from the inside and throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you. Everything from the inside and just throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you.
Yo, peep the style and the kids checking for it. The number one question is how could you ignore it? We drop right back in the cut over basement tracks with raps that got you backing us up like rewind that. We're just rolling with the rhythm, rise from the ashes of stylistic division. With these non-stop lyrics of life living, not to be forgotten but still unforgiven. But in the meantime there are those who wanna talk this and that. So I suppose that it gets to a point where feelings gotta get hurt and get dirty with the people spreading the dirt. It goes,
Try to give you warning, but everyone ignores me.
told you everything loud and clear,
But nobody's listening. Call to you so clearly, but you don't want to hear me.
told you everything loud and clear.
But nobody's listening.
I got a heart full of pain, head full of stress, hand full of anger held in my chest, and everything left's a waste of time. I hate my rhymes, but hate everyone else's more. I'm riding on the back of this pressure, guessing that it's better I can't keep myself together, because all of this stress gave me something to ride on. The pain gave me something I can set my sights on. You never forget the blood, sweat, and tears, the uphill struggle over years, the fear and trash talking, and the people it was to, and the people that started it just like you.
Try to give you warning, but everyone ignores me.
Told you everything loud and clear,
But nobody's listening. Call to you so clearly, but you don't want to hear me.
told you everything loud and clear.
But nobody's listening.
I got a heart full of pain, head full of stress, handful of anger held in my chest, uphill struggle
lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
Every step that I take is another mistake to you.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you.
Can't you see that you're smothering me, holding too tightly, afraid to lose control? 'Cause everything that you thought I would be is falling apart right in front of you.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
Every step that I take is another mistake to you.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
And every second I waste is more than I can take. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. And I know I may end up failing too, but I know you were just like me, with someone disappointed in you. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Tired of being what you want me to be. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Tired of being what you want me to be.
Just a scar somewhere down inside of me, something I cannot repair, even though it will always be. I pretend it isn't there. I'm trapped in yesterday, where the pain is all I know, and I'll never break away. 'Cause when I'm alone,
I'm lost in these memories, living behind my own illusion. Lost
Sometimes these thoughts in my head speak so loud. Every little thing that I think about just builds on top of the pain and doubt. Even though I wanna just let it out, I try to act like I don't mind it. Try to keep my mouth so quiet, but sitting there in my silence just seems to amplify it. When I thought that keeping this inside would make it better, I never thought that I would end up ruining it forever. But every time I think I got everything put back together, I end up making more regrets, making more regrets.
Falling from grace, I watch it all come apart, knowing I could have changed it all from the start. Fighting myself, I always lose. Fighting myself, I always lose.
I didn't want you to think I'm worn out so easily. I wish I'd held it in so you never knew it built up inside of me. Now I don't know how it overflowed, spilled out unwillingly, but now everything that I learned to hate came out for you to see. I don't want you to promise you can change everything and make it better, cause you can bet I'm gonna end up ruining it forever. And every time you think you got everything put back together, I end up making more regrets, making more regrets.
Falling from grace, I watch it all come apart, knowing I could have changed it all from the start. Fighting myself, I always lose. Fighting myself, I always lose. Falling from grace, I watch it all come apart, knowing I could have changed it all from the start. Fighting myself, I always lose. Fighting myself, I always lose. I can't run with this weight on my back. I can't see cause I'm focused on the past. I can't breathe, I need to break free from the anger that is constantly inside me. I can't run with this weight on my back. I can't see cause I'm focused on the past. I can't breathe, I need to break free from the anger that is constantly inside of me. I watch it all come apart, knowing I could have changed it all from the start. I can't breathe, I need to break free from the anger that is constantly inside of me. I watch it all come apart, knowing I could have changed it all from the start. I can't breathe, I need to break free from the anger that is constantly inside of me.
I've listened endlessly to your injury. You wanna talk about your sores, wanna talk about suffering. Maybe sympathy is all you're really hungry for, cause you just criticize, you finger point, and you say that they beat you down. You may be victimized, you're still the one who won't just get up off the ground.
Used to be as innocent as you.
My excuses ran out of things to complain about.
Fear will always find a way to show.
Right through, you want to be more hurt than me. You want to say you're more the victim. You wanna complain and pass the blame. You want to say you're more the victim.
You wanna talk constantly about misery and how you've been done so wrong. You wanna bend your honesty and exaggerate the distress that you've undergone. There's never a compromise. No one can say that they've ever been hurt before. They may be victimized, but you'll always say that you're a victim so much more.
Used to be as innocent as you.
My excuses ran out of things to complain about.
Fear will always find a way to show.
Right through, you want to be more hurt than me. You want to say you're more the victim. You wanna complain and pass the blame. You want to say you're more the victim.
point that I've been wrong and it's all been a mess. I listen to the cars drive by and don't know why that I couldn't have left. But now I'm stuck in the middle of a situation and I made up here. You'd be surprised at how scared of the clarity you could be till you see it so clear. But it's like I can't really look at it rationally, wishing that you could look backward and see these things happen, but actually the things that happen have happened to me. So don't try to tell me it's all okay. I'm reaching for this, I'm too far away. Yesterday's problems here again today, and it's safe to say